Hello. What is up? I'm taking a break from building my course on Teachable and just wanted to hop on here for a live. I hope everyone is doing well. I mostly just wanted to talk about some stuff that was coming up for me this morning, particularly. I had beautiful dreams. I slept super well, but as soon as this morning hit, I jumped. I like blues clues myself right into a certain narrative going on that is like clearly dividing people and like very charged, very polarizing, very triggering. You might know the narrative that I'm talking about. And as much as I can want to, transcend the duality and not engage in the us versus them and like all the polarity, like as much as that is my desire, I couldn't help but feeling like I was in it. You know what I mean? But I was able to be aware of it while it was happening. I was able to be aware of, oh, I'm super us versus them right now. I very much think my way is like the best way, the moral way. Like I was able to see what I was processing and like how I was processing it for the traps that they were, but it didn't help me feel any better. Like I still felt so crappy and my mind was doing all of these things like, oh, um like is it worth it? What was me? Just very thought wise kind of spiraling in thoughts that were not, they weren't helpful. They were like triggered by these emotions and they were just like pretty depressing. So I'm observing these thoughts and I'm like, ugh, I keep having these depressive thoughts. What's going on? But I just kept paying attention to it. I named it, I called it what it was, and as I was driving to my first like errand appointment outside of the house, it sunk in this sense of hope, I guess, but a sense of resiliency. This sense of resiliency kicked in where I was like, okay, X, Y, and Z may be happening, but I'm still here. Not only am I still here, but we are all still here. Like it could be much worse. And I basically got the sense of resiliency, but also deep gratitude, like a deep gratitude for what was already happening and what could theoretically be taken away from me at any point, whether that's a place to stay or food to eat or a car to drive. All of these things that I definitely have, and was like focusing on a hypothetical future and like feeling some type of way about that. I kind of dropped that, or like I practiced to the best of my ability dropping that and like recentering my focus and my own narrative on all of the stuff that is working in my favor, in your favor, in our favor, all the freedoms and privileges that we still have, and really still knowing my personal truth, but instead of wavering from that truth or wavering from that narrative and getting sucked into some other perspective, more so doubling down on gratitude, more so doubling down on my own sense of resiliency and purpose in this world. Although giving, I'm just burning Palo Santo, giving ample space to the parts of myself that want to look at the shadow, look at the egregors playing out, maybe get a little depressed, you know what I mean? But just owning that it's not all love and light. It is way more than that, but not staying too long on like blind optimism, and then not staying too long on not solution based disaster thinking as well. So I mean, that whole experience for me took like the morning into the afternoon, and I definitely felt a lot better when I was in the car processing this. And then I spent the next part of my day, sunbathing, just like absorbing energy from the sun, because where I'm at, it's fall time, winter is coming. So again, dropping, instead of dreading winter coming, enjoying the sun shining today, enjoying the sun shining today. So I went to do that. And then, like I said, dropped into working on my course, just dropping into creation. You know what I mean? Like the whole, what's the point? Why are we here? For me, for the day, it was like create, like keep making stuff. So I just wanted to share a bit about that particular processing journey today, and just like ping out into the universe that if you are feeling like, what's the point? This isn't going to get better. Like, woe is me. You know what I mean? Like, that whole line of thoughts, like, to not deny that, but to also not give it too much space, but stay curious, like, why is that coming up? What particular thing triggered me to get here? What do I actually have control over? What can I challenge myself to, like, release wanting control over? All of these things. And it might not happen overnight. I feel like we've been through this. We've been being mind freaked for, like, who knows how long. So I feel like to have balanced mental health in times of such mind freakery is a revolutionary act. And for that, I'm grateful. And for that, I want to share my story, share other stories, and really fortify myself and others with whatever resources we need and would continue to need to stay fortified in such times, you know. So yeah, if you're going through it, I feel you. I go through it, and we can cope together and then die one day. Yeah. But until then, yeah, we can be coping and thriving. You're listening, yay. Someone's listening. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I usually am, like, pretty, not like positive love and light, but I'm usually not giving into certain narratives that are abounding. But every once in a while, I'll just let myself, like, woo, really spiral into, like, kind of worst case scenario, and honestly feeling victimized. I was going through most of it today. Yeah, I feel you. I feel like as I was processing and, like, peeling back the layers, it was honestly me feeling like a victim. Like, I don't know if you've heard of the book or read the book or seen the movie, but it's called Room. And essentially, the plot of Room is this one character kidnaps and imprisons another character, and then that character proceeds to have a child within this prison container, like they're kidnapped, you know what I mean? But the child's worldview, the child's consciousness is that the room that they're being held in against their will is the universe. Like, that's it. And they love being there, right? Because they don't know anything else. And I feel like I had been feeling existentially like I have been put in room. So, one, feeling like a victim. Two, feeling like I'm not allowed to do what I want to do, which is, to expand as a being as much as I would want to. But it felt like existentially being put in room, being forced into a space, certain space time, against my will. And then within room, being forced into smaller and smaller parts of room. So, like, okay, you're in the room now, held against your will. And then now you're, like, in the closet, or now you're, like, trapped under the bed. And it's just getting, like, smaller and smaller and smaller, when that's, like, the opposite of the energy that I'm personally wanting as a spiritual being, or like a person spirit having a human experience. But another thing that came through was the fact that that might not be true for everyone. Some people's experience, they could want to existentially be in room because room is safe. They could existentially want to be in closet in room, or like under the bed, under the closet in room. Like, that could be their trip. So another, like, spark that came through and provided me some peace was that assume everyone is doing what they are wanting to be doing. So it's like, don't act like a victim, don't feel like a victim. Also understand that everything is happening like it's supposed to, as in, this is like, people are playing out what they want to be playing out. All right, I journaled and built an altar for my astrology homework, and now I'm feeling a lot better. Also spent some time in the sun, things come in waves, we're processing. Like, yes, for sure. For sure. I definitely journaled today. I didn't do so much altar work, but yeah, definitely the sunshine helped. It felt so, 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 so good, especially with that frame of, like, how long will this be around? I don't know. So let me enjoy it now, you know? And yeah, totally, things coming in waves. Like, you are allowed to feel sad or like shitty about something, and we're able to process that and let it go ultimately, whether that be through journaling or altar work or spending time in the sun, meditating, sitting, doing yoga, like talking about it, seeing the points of like, ooh, that's me victimizing myself, or ooh, that's me assuming that everyone else in the world would want what I would want. That's weird. You know what I mean? And yeah, doing that processing work, but ultimately choosing to keep going, like choosing to, despite nonetheless, to persevere nonetheless, to cope nonetheless. And like I said before, I feel like in the midst of everything going on, to cope and not only survive but thrive among it, like in all of that, is like a revolutionary act, or like a very like a radical act, you know. Ooh, that's projecting. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to share that I've been going through that. We have someone tuning in that is definitely resonating and understanding and doing their work with going through that. And yeah, I'm curious to anyone tuning into this, like how are you currently coping with the with the everything going on? Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I've been coping with the various ways, like I said, dropping into gratitude practice, going outside with the sun, journaling for sure, but then also creating for creation's sake, but then also creating systems and structures that will help myself and others with the work that I've been talking about, on support how to journal, support on how to build an altar, support on how to keep energetically like higher vibration or balance, or just like chill with all of the things going on. And this has been a like passion project for years now. You know, it's been a passion project, but really turning that passion project or that hobby into a business that is aligned with my gifts, my passions, my values, and then my needs, like what I would need to receive back, and giving that. So that's been super helpful. And yeah, just so much gratitude, so much gratitude for the people in my life, gratitude for the folks that I have been crossing paths with, for the people in my like immediate physical reality right now, gratitude for just all of the physical things, all of the emotional tools that I have. Super grateful. Uh Gnarly to be on this journey of pregnancy at this time. I'm really like dropping into that, loving that, like reprogramming myself on that journey. And yeah, just big thanks to everyone who's donated so far to the Baby Blessings fundraiser. And yeah, but I just wanted to hop on here and affirm that yes, I woke up today feeling super shitty. And at the now, I have a deeper understanding of why I was feeling that way, and gratitude for all that I've done throughout the day to modify my mood. So, yeah, thank you to everyone who has tuned in. Gratitude and blessings. And yeah, I'm about to go make dinner now and then drop in with some family members. So, yeah, make sure to comment if you feel called to. How are you doing right now? How are you coping? And what can you share with the collective that can maybe help and inspire others? And I will see ya later.